Hey guys, Doc, and man, I'll tell you what, I'm soaking wet. I hadn't planned on shooting a video today, but I figured let's grab the camera and let's show you this little trick I do down here in natural areas. Basically, you got a small, ugly spot on your lawn. I'm going to show you how to, for about 50 bucks, put something in that'll last for 5 or 10 years. So hold on real quick. Hey guys, so I came out here early, but I'm soaking wet and I'm still exhausted. So real quick, I'm just going to show you a little trick. I figured I'd drag the camera along. I'm going to turn an ugly little natural area that's been bugging me for months. I'm going to turn it into something kind of nice looking. So let's get that done. Before I forget, I always talk about products in these videos and people end up commenting, where did you get this? So I always put a product link in the description below. So in the description below, that'll take you to a web page, and on that web page I'll give you tips, I'll give you references to where you can get the stuff that I'm talking about if you want to get it. Also, don't forget, July 15th is Amazon Prime days, and I'll be doing a video for Amazon Prime showing you some deals out there from Anderson's. Plus, that's the winning date for our free giveaway, so make sure you subscribe. Go to the website and make sure you signed up for the email alerts. You do those two things, you're registered for all of our giveaways for the future. So I'm going to use, let's go over today's gear list. Basically, I'm using mulch from Lowe's, which you can get when they run it on sale. This mulch, I'll show it to you here in a second. You can get 5 bags for 10 bucks. It's cheap. I used 4 or 5 bags in this one small area. I put a lot down. Then I bought some little evergreen pines, soft mugo. I don't know. I've never seen them before. I picked them up on sale for about 15 bucks a piece, and they're evergreen and they're deer resistant. Now juniper, believe it or not, I think I have a clip I can show you. It's like every morning the deer come by and just sort of pick up my juniper. Matter of fact, one time after I planted one of my junipers, I found it lying in the road. Well, come to find out, a deer had grabbed it, pulled it up, and walked off with it. So, and they'll eat anything. But these are supposed to be deer resistant. We'll see. It even says it on the tag. But so I've got the mulch, I've got the pines. You're gonna have duocide. I'll put a link to it, which is the Pelletized Bug Killer. Put a layer down before you mulch. Put a layer down after you mulch. I'm using just like basically a Roundup spray today. And what else am I doing? I think that's about it. So anyways, let's get started and get this thing done. All right, so you can see the front natural areas. They're doing okay. It's a drought, man. But, you know, we just throw a little bit of color and a little bit of fullness inside of it. All right, put this ugly one down here. Okay, so down here, I've got a mostly dead crepe myrtle that's been taken over by some kind of plant. These are huge. I forget the name of these red tip bushes, but they're massive. And if you see, you look down here past the corner of my fence, this is a deer corridor right here. The deer come through here nonstop. But I've also got a water head here for city water. I had some other plants in here and they just didn't do well, so I need something a bit more hardy and deer resistant. So run to your local, big box store. The main thing you're looking for too is look for that little deer resistant. And if you can't find a marking on there, sometimes you can just take your phone with you and Google it and see if it's deer resistant. But those, I think, will be pretty here. They're not horrible, 19 bucks a piece. All right, so here's this ugly corner. It's got a water head on it, public water supply head, and it's just nasty. Bunch of overgrown stuff. So basically, this morning I'm going to come out. I'm going to take down a lot of this overgrown. Throw some stuff in there pretty quick, put some duocide down, and it should be done. Hopefully. Alright, so normally these plants are all root bound. Normally you'll open these up and you'll see roots swirling all around here. And what you want to do is you want to untangle those and spread them out. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this and loosen up the root. I don't like to cut them. If you cut them, you're killing some roots. Just go through there and dig it. If you don't uncircle the roots, they're going to keep growing that way. Alright, so people plant plants wrong in red clay all the time. They follow the instructions. The instructions will tell you to dig a hole about the size of the pot, place your plant in level with the soil. If you do that in red clay areas or solid clay areas, what's going to happen? Every time you water or rain, you're basically putting your plant into a bowl, a vase, and it'll sit there and get soaking wet and won't drain, and your roots will rot. It'll die off. So dig your hole almost twice the size width of your pot. Dig it so that the pot top is just about level. Then put potting soil and bring the plant up about 2 inches above the soil line and spread the roots out so they can go out. Otherwise you're going to have root rot and plant rot, and I've had it before from planting wrong back here. But you want a big hole. You don't want it, and I have another video where I planted some trees this way and they're gorgeous now. But shallow, only about half the pot depth. Spread the roots out because they're circular. You want to spread them out when you unpot them. That's about it. All right, again, so one of the biggest mistakes people make in red clay soils is the planting height. Now, if you look down this way, you say, oh, wow, that's kind of high. But if you look this way, it's about 2 inches above the level. Same thing here. This one looks high. But if you look at it from here, it's about 1 inch or 2 above the soil. This one here looks like it's really, really high. But if you look at it compared to all the soil, it's only about 1 inch. And then we'll build up soil around it. All right, so the next thing for me to do is design the actual bed. Don't limit yourself to where the grass is. I'm going to get my killing spray. And I'm going to spray a little bit bigger, basically Roundup, very, very carefully so it don't get on the plants, and then come back in and mulch. All right, so you need to be a little bit careful with this next step. You need to think ahead because you don't want to be stepping into this and then stepping back onto your grass, because basically it's kind of a Roundup. It's called Knockout. So I put a grass and weed killer like Roundup, plus I put pre-emergent in my bottle. Why do I do that? You ever see the mulch that says stops weeds for up to 6 months? It's because it has pre-emergent in it. Now I also will come here and sprinkle some Duocide pellets. The Duocide underneath the mulch. The Duocide will sit there until it gets wet, and then it'll activate and it'll kill every insect that survives, including grubs, for about 3 months or so, 3 or 4 months. And then I can come back and put some more on top. Now for I already put down 1 coat of Duocide underneath it, and now I'm going to put another coat on top. Let me tell you what, you shouldn't see a bug for 6 months. In case you didn't know, that's what it looks like. Dispersible granules. As soon as water touches them, they explode basically. It's army worm and yard treatment, but I use it here. So there it is, the new finished corner. Ain't she pretty? Okay, so that's done, but let me show you. That is what I consider my base natural area. So I put a real thick, I'm talking anywhere from 3 to 5 inches layer of mulch. I'll put my base evergreens inside of there, and then probably in the next week or two, once we get out of this drought, I'll go in and maybe put some color in there too. Let me show you some of the other ones we've done and what it looks like. So a good example is this like power box natural area. Now the power box natural area, I mean, just look, it's a nice way to finish it. The front natural areas, they're suffering from a drought, but again, you got a fullness of your evergreens and then a touch of color inside of there. Nice little touch of a natural area here. And that really is nice bright white sidewalks, clean driveway, thick dark green grass, filled up natural areas. That's really the basis for the whole yard, to be honest. By the way, getting ready to do a super juice treatment probably later today after I cut, but man, we're in the middle of a drought. It's been excuse me, over 2 weeks since we've had any rain. Every other yard is dead brown. Mine's gorgeous. PGF Complete Fertilizer and Super Juice. That's it. That's pretty much where we are for the past 3 months. That's all we put down. That's what a drought-stricken lawn looks like, treated with PGF Complete and Super Juice. Now this is our wild garden. We really don't try and manage this. Even if there's a decent looking weed inside of here, we really leave it alone. We have rose bushes, but we have some base evergreens along with bulbs and mainly perennials, to be honest now. I got a hydrangea, a big marigold, rose bushes, all kinds of really cool stuff growing in here. Now, I will show you my favorite. You're lucky today, because I don't know the name of this. But my favorite flower is blooming today. Isn't that just cool? So anyways, guys, just a cheap, quick way just to put down a base natural area, and then you can go ahead and you can add some color, whatever you want, you know, annuals or whatever through the year. But that thing will last there for a good 5 years. You don't have to touch it. And the duo side that you put down, a lot of times when you put down mulch, you get maybe some earwigs and stuff in there, or you also get some insects that are root-eating insects, ants and everything else. So it's not a bad little trick. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Bye.